So, welcome back to game 2 of NICon here in Auckland, New Zealand. I just played a game against the Infernal Dwarves, so if you want to follow through the tournament, you can go back to that and have a little look. This is a game against some beastmen, beast herd, and yeah, we'll start off with the beast deployment. What we've got is a Razor Gore chariot on the right in the woods, taking advantage of that strider rule, and then that's a box of dice, no model. Another Razor Gore, two Razor Gores with two Tuscars with chariots with carrots on. So on the right is a beastman with the yellowy tusks is the general. He's leadership 9. He's got a good save. Behind that is a level 4 on what was Beastman Shamanism. He's got the 5d6 strength 1. He's got the full load of totems. So yeah, pretty good casting. He's got the dangerous terrain and -1 to hit, which is a very powerful spell potentially. Then he has a unit of 10 minotaurs for some frenzied goodness, and then another Razor Gore chariot, and then 10 Ungor raiders with bows in the ruins, and there's 4 units of 10 Gore with throwing weapons and paired weapons to come on. So the plan is that, or the objective I should say, is that black box in the middle, which we replace soon, is the target, so to get scoring units on that. So basically he was up on the sides and back in the middle, which was his choice, and I was down on the sides and up in the middle. So yeah, I was pretty confident with that. It looked pretty good. I've got enough chaff to feed his minotaurs if needs be and keep them out of the way. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm going to hopefully take off 1 or 2 minotaurs before we get engaged in combat with the lightning cannon. But this is a young player that I'm playing against. Very nice young man, but he is a younger player, young Jacob. So yeah, it's a learning curve for him as well as everything else. So my plan is basically I've got 2 units of Globadiers on the right. There aren't a great amount of targets for them, but obviously the chariots are pretty good. I've got the fly spell, which is great in witchcraft. I've kind of just been ignoring it, but suddenly I'm like, hang on, Globadiers, move 10, fly 6 or 10, and then throw their globes. Potentially they're getting round behind units, over the top of units, and yeah, could make a really big difference. Then obviously an abomination and a lightning cannon. Once again, we've got 28, I think. 30, sorry. Clan rats with spears and the warlitter with the general on top. Then we've got a unit of 25 slaves with the BSP and the level 4. So it's got -1 to hit. The fly spell, and the half range for magic and shooting. Behind that is some footpads, and behind that is a rat swarm and a plague collar catapult, and another abomination, and then plague brotherhood with the assassin in, and a rat swarm. So basically the plan is keep the A-bombs at the back. It's really good for dealing with ambushers. My artillery set up slightly forward, both so I can hopefully shoot down a flank with the frenzied minotaurs, and or just to keep them away from ambushers, and then the A-bombs hopefully to deal with the ambushers and just loiter around behind my war machines. I know he's also keen on putting down a totem beast, so we shall see what happens with that. So yeah, he pushes forward with his chariot, slides sideways just to keep out of range. I can see on the right of the board a proverbial Mexican standoff. So yeah, it's between the chariot and the Globadiers. He won't want to come in because he doesn't want me whizzing around the side, but I don't want to get too much closer to him either. So yeah, it's that's fine by me. I don't have an awful lot to do with my globadiers, so if they spend the time just hanging out, keeping chariots away from my war machines, then I'm reasonably happy with that. So yeah, that's all to the good. And then he comes forward, surprisingly, rushes forward with the minotaurs and with the angors. I move my rat swarm up, get shot to bits, but that's absolutely fine by me. I'm just stood a couple of inches away. Absolutely, the plan is for him to, obviously being frenzied, have to overrun and get my Plague Brotherhood and my assassin in the flank. Can't at this stage, but with either the footpads or the second lot of rat swarm, that is very achievable. He got slightly obsessed about shooting off my rat swarms, which I fully can understand. There's just so many wounds in those swarms. They're just great. They just stand still forever. Really good unit. Love them. And then, yeah, the A-bombs just kind of loiter around behind my lines, bouncing off my stuff. He moves forward with his Ungor, and I shoot off some with my Plague Core Catapult. I chipped a couple of wounds off his Minotaurs with my Lightning Claw Cannon, and he slides forward with his Chariots. Yeah, I think he was caught between a rock and a hard place. With my Rats going to be steadfast if he puts his Chariots in, I'm then just going to break him back. I think he was also worried about the Spears and how many attacks they're putting out. So, yeah, I think he was a bit stuck, bless him. All the time trying to shoot off my rat swarm, but not really having the power. And then all of it, this was my fear. I was hoping one or two. Obviously, you kind of expect 3 lots of ambushes to come on at once, and I could deal with them. But all 4 turned up, shot at the unit of globadiers. As I say, he was a young man, and I don't know why. I assumed his beast shooting was strength 4, so I was like, oh yeah, strength 4, hitting on wounding on 3s, only a 6-up save, and he decimated my unit, and they fled very quickly. One unit took off 5, and they fled. Obviously, that's not correct. So yeah, I then corrected myself, but it's fine. It was my mistake, even though you know. So that's all good. And then push forward in the center a little bit more, just really to keep spells in range, but still to keep threatening the chariots. The plan is really to push forward with the clan rats and try and engage in the flank of the minotaurs, and then push forward with Plague Brotherhood to go in the front. It was a little bit slow, the game, but it was all to the good. And then the A-bombs went into the first unit, both went in, both made, one of them was quite a long charge, but or random move, but made it. One overran into his unit, the second overran right in front of the unit. Again, that was really long. I was lucky to get that close. I didn't expect to make it into the unit, but I mean, he's going to weather the storm of thrown weapons coming his way pretty easily, and then go on to do further bad things with his movement. The lightning claw cannon span round and did a lot, but like misfire span round. I push forward again with my clan rats. If he charges me, even if he multi-charges me with these 2 characters, I don't really mind. I think I'll grind him out. The armlet of power I keep popping off, and that makes makes my lord have 7 attacks at strength 8, which will chop up a chariot pretty quickly. And then that just leaves his flank well open. So I keep rolling long charges into the flank of his chariots, and start with they're very long, but they're getting shorter rapidly. He then pushed forward with his Ungor to shoot into my rat swarms, and left me a flank charge, which I took and won combat. Broke the Ungor, but they escaped. He keeps casting totems on his Minotaurs, mainly because I keep half ranging his shaman. So He just can't get enough wounds in on the rat swarms. He just keeps fluffing its rolls, really. I mean, I have got another unit of rat swarms and 2 units of footpads to chuck into the mix if needs be, but it's a real shame for him. He just keeps missing with his thrown weapons from his chariots and his swarm flies, swarm insects, whatever it is. The shamanism spell just won't come off. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. So his chariot flees from a charge back through the woods. That's a unit of beastmen in the dead pile of gore. He reforms in his turn, so it's 3 wide. He couldn't unfortunately go any wider with his gore because of the edge of the board, but that unit gets decimated. And yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. He fails his. I failed to charge him, but so he gets to shoot me with his units, but they both fail their march test, so they can't get very far away. He flees a charge from my clan rats into his flank with his BSB, which, yeah, probably not a bad idea because I'm overrunning into his general. Can chaff up his minotaurs and then push my plague brotherhood in their face. Unfortunately, we then get a 15-minute warning and it all gets quite rushed. My A-bomb manages to overrun into the chariot on his right, which the globadiers have been chipping wounds away from. And basically, I'm kind of forced by the time schedule to charge both my clan rats and my plague brotherhood into his minotaur unit, which I'm aware is a big risk because it's a long charge. I think it's 10 on the dice for my plague brotherhood. Fortunately, as I say, it all got a bit rushed, but fortunately my clan rats made it in, and well, he only had 2 minotaurs left on the back rank of his minotaurs. My warlord went first, killed both of those pretty easily actually, and then basically only got 1 minotaur back. I think he did 2 or 3 wounds. I charged 3 ranks, banner, blah 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 blah, broke him automatically, ran him down and overran into his wizard. He countercharged with his BSB, which just rallied on the table edge, which I thought was brave. I don't know. I can understand why, because shamanism magic at this range is really good. So he got to increase the toughness of his beast chariot. I think he rolled really low, like a double 2 phase. And then that basically, he went in and did quite a big impact hit. Took off quite a lot of my clan rats from the back rank. He got scarification off, which meant rather than wounding his wizard on 2s, I was wounding him on 5s, which swung the combat, but I was always going to be steadfast 10, so I held. And that was the end of the game. But it was a really good game, really fun game, really nice kid. It was a shame I had to push quite hard at the end. I'd kind of paced the game so that I could move in, not at my leisure, but it did end up, because I broke the minotaurs, I held the objective very comfortably, and it turned out I didn't really take any losses. In the end, I just took the rat swarmers losses, so I'd lost 90 points. Played all of my other units were still pretty well intact, so it was just through not losing many models that I won the game. So yeah, it was a good game. It's a good fun game, but it was unfortunate, really. I think it was a bad matchup. The chaff just stood in front of the minotaurs, and then very likely I'm just going to turn them and turn them again, and then my assassin with his D3 wounds, and he's likely to be strength 6, so I think that makes him hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s with 5 or 6 attacks, and then D3 wounds with each of those. It's going to make a huge mess of his minotaurs. So Yeah, I think it was the right decision not to charge through. It was just a bad matchup, unfortunately. But yeah, it was another good game, and it put me back in the middle of the pack after I got 4 points off my first game, and then I got 19 points off that game. So yeah, back up into the running, which was good.